From the Grand Concourse in the Bronx, New York, the Varsity Media Sports Network presents the CHSAA Basketball Showdown between the visiting Lions of Bishop Loughlin and the Cardinals of Cardinal Hayes. Good afternoon, everyone. Dylan Butler here with you at Cardinal Hayes. Thank you so much for joining us on the Varsity Media Sports Network as the CHSAA basketball season continues in this crossover battle between Bishop Loughlin and Cardinal Hayes. The Lions of Bishop Loughlin, they come in with a record of 5-13, 2-9. It's been a struggle for Ed Gonzalez's Lions of Bishop Loughlin. They've lost 6 in a row, 8 of their last 9. That includes a 75-64 defeat at Zavarian down in Bay Ridge on Friday night. But the good news for Loughlin is the return of Christian Jeffrey. The junior made his way back into the lineup after missing really almost the entire season. Had only played 4 games, went down with a broken hand, was nearly back from that, and then he suffered an ankle injury. Christian Jeffrey, a junior guard, he's a Division I prospect. Look, you take a Division I prospect off of any roster in the CHSAA, and that team will struggle. We saw that with Archbishop Stepanak and Danny Carbucia out for the Crusaders. So the good news is Jeffrey is back. He's in only his second game back, had 18 points in that loss against Zavarian. So he'll be getting himself back into condition for the Lions, but he'll be a big player to keep an eye out for. And joining Jeffrey in the backcourt is our other player to watch for the Lions. It is his buddy, Ja'Kai Sanders. What a great duo this is for Bishop Loughlin, both future Division I players. You see the numbers there for Sanders, 22 points, 4 rebounds per game for the 6'3 junior guard who's got the Bryant offer, and Jeffrey as well. Athletic, physical, 15.5 points, 6 rebounds, again, in very limited time. 5 games played for Jeffrey. Fordham and Hofstra are his offers. Both of these guys were third team all CHSAA a year ago for Bishop Loughlin. That went 15-12, and they were 9-7. They lost to Stepanak 73-57 in the AA intersectional semifinals. Bishop Loughlin, a dangerous side, man. You do not look at that record again. You've got a healthy Jeffrey back at really a great time of the season, as well as this calendar turns to February, and the bigger games are coming up for Ed Gonzalez's Lions of Bishop Loughlin. For the defending champions, the Cardinal Hayes Cardinals, it's been a struggle for them as well, but they seem to be turning the corner. Their record 8-9, 7-4 in the Archdiocese, which is good for second place on the New York side of things. And Hayes has won back-to-back games. They defeated they defeated Malloy on the road 64-63. They followed that up on Friday night up in New Rochelle with a 70-60 win over Iona Prep. So it is their second 2-game winning streak. They've yet to have a 3-game winning streak. That's what they are chasing here this afternoon. Hayes, as they have all year long, are led by a terrific duo, and as you can see there in the meeting with the officials, Ian Jackson wearing that Carolina blue, and his buddy Elijah Moore just yesterday freshly committed to the Cuse up at Syracuse. He will be a future Orangeman for Jimmy Boeheim up at the Carrier Dome, and those are 2 terrific impact players, right? Moore, one of the best shooters in the country, averaging 15 points a game, and Ian Jackson, number 3 in the country in his class, 20 points a game, can get to the basket like nobody's business. Such a terrific player to watch is Captain Jack, Ian Jackson. There you see the 2 guys. You see the orange and the light Carolina blue, future ACC opponents, but currently teammates here in the Bronx. Let's take a look at the keys to victory for both of these teams, and we'll see a little bit of a synergy here between Loughlin and Cardinal Hayes. For Joe Loads, Cardinal Hayes head coach, he says rebounding is 1 and 2 on our 3 keys. They have struggled on that aspect of the game. They also want to limit turnovers. We'll see Cardinal Hayes likely try to slow things down a little bit. We've seen them in previous games want to get up and down, run and gun. They want to be a little bit more patient on the shot clock, so you got to limit your turnovers in the half-court set and rebound as well. Bishop Loughlin, transition defense is so important. You mentioned how dangerous Jackson and others are at getting out into the open court. So Bishop Loughlin, they want to get their transition defense going. They too want to box out rebounds, and as you mentioned with Jeffrey, they want to stay healthy. Whatever happens here today, no injuries for the Lions. And even Ja'Kai Sanders yesterday, shoot around before the game or after Friday night's game, a little bit of an ankle tweak. So that's the last thing that Ed Gonzalez needs, is more injuries for his Lions. So those are the keys for both teams. We mentioned the standings a moment ago. We could show you those as well. Brooklyn Queens, a couple of the leading teams, of course, Christ the King, as well as St. Francis Prep. And there is Loughlin. You see them fifth right there? They're a dangerous five, man. Again, especially now with Jeffrey and Sanders back together. That is a terrific duo. So, again, you look past that 5-13, 2-9 mark. They could push their way up and be a force, really, in the Brooklyn Queens diocesan playoffs, as well, of course, into the intersectionals. But you see Christ the King, St. Francis Prep. We got a great one for you coming up on Tuesday out in Fresh Meadows. Those two will reunite, a rivalry renewed between the top two teams in BQ. For the New York Archdiocese standings, and it's funny because you think it's been a struggle for Cardinal Hayes, but really look at that. They're only 2 games behind Stepinac, still with a game to play against the Crusaders. That'll be the final regular season game up in White Plains. Surely a sellout crowd on hand for that one, but listen, 7-4 in the New York Archdiocese, despite all those struggles, and 8-9. I mean, how many of those losses were to teams that are in the ESPN top 10, top 20, right? So they played an incredible schedule, and they hope certainly that pans out to this part of the season. Let's take a look at the starting lineups for both of these teams. First, for the visitors from Bishop Loughlin, making their way from Fort Greene, Brooklyn. And it's that combination again, Jeffrey and Sanders. Future Division I junior guards, Bryce McPherson joining that crew. Wilmer De La Rosa, terrific looking freshman, man. 6'5", averaging 5.3 points per game. He's got a knack for the ball. He's from the DR. Look out for De La Rosa in the future. And rounding out the starting 5 is Micaiah Moore, the 6'6" senior who's got interest from LIU. The head coach, as we mentioned before, Eddie Gonzalez, in his 13th season at the helm at Bishop Loughlin, a 1981 graduate of All Hallows High School. He also was an assistant under longtime head coach. There you see Eddie Gonzalez. Under John Carey for 8 years, became the Gales head coach when Carey became an assistant coach at Fairfield University. Let's take a look at the starting lineup now for Cardinal Hayes. And the Hayesmen, they've been changing their lineup around the lot, but really the two guys who never leave the starting lineup are those two terrific juniors we mentioned before, Moore and Jackson. The seniors also get a start here this afternoon. Tyleek Fields, the Lincoln College commit, as well as Jaden Williams, who will go to Caldwell College. And rounding out that 5 is another terrific freshman, Trey Lewis, number 21, head coach of Cardinal Hayes. Joe Loads in his 15th season. There you see the head coach, his associate head coach right there as well. Tim Philp, his son Chris, also, you could say part of the coaching staff, I think, as well. But Loads, a 1993 graduate of St. Francis Prep, a 296 wins now. So he's 4 away from that terrific 300-win mark. We'll take a quick break. We'll have the opening tip when we return here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
For the best action shots and the best angles, look no further than Varsity Media. Our experienced photographers capture your athletes' best moments right from field level. Plus, we offer great keepsakes like bobbleheads, posters, plaques, and prints. For more information about Varsity Media's photography services, contact us at 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net.
Varsity Media covers every sport at every level from every angle. Game film, recruiting videos, highlight videos, SPORTSCAST,
Under, and what a look.
photography, live streaming. You name it, we offer it. Don't leave your video needs to amateurs. Trust the pros. Contact us at 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
Welcome back to Cardinal Hayes as the Cardinals and the Bishop Loughlin Lions getting set for the start of this game. Our officials for today's game, our referee is Craig Sikorsky, along with Anthony Calise and Kevin Agee. A busy week here on the Varsity Media Sports Network. We will go back to back to back. Today, obviously, Bishop Loughlin, Cardinal Hayes. On Tuesday, we'll be out at St. Francis Prep. They will take on Christ the King. That'll be a 7:30 tip on Tuesday. We hit the ice, actually, tomorrow for a St. Anthony's Monsignor Farrell hockey game. Another hockey game Friday night. A rivalry renewed. Chaminade and St. Anthony's. And then next Sunday, we are going to see these guys again. The Bishop Loughlin Lions taking on Christ the King. The lineup's being introduced here to the crowd at Cardinal Hayes. Bishop Loughlin, a terrific history of excellence on the basketball court. They won the AA championship in 1961, 75, 1992. How about this? That was 92. Bob Leckie was the head coach. They were led by Sherwin Anderson. They defeated Rice, led by Felipe Lopez in the championship game, 63-44. They also won the Class A championship in 1985. Cardinal Hayes lineup being introduced to the crowd, and the Cardinals also obviously terrific history of excellence. They won in 1944, they won in 1990. That team beat All Hallows just down the block here in the Bronx. Jamal Mashburn, the Monster Mash, had 18 points, 7 rebounds in that win over All Hallows. Then under the great Tom Murray, they won the Class A championship in 2001 and 2007. Then Joe Lodes winning his first championship as head coach in 2017. What a game that was, beating Archbishop Malloy 64-62. That was a Malloy team that had Cole Anthony and Moses Brown, both current NBA players, on their roster. And that was followed up, of course, by last year's championship when they beat Stepanak 79-59, a game that you saw right here on the Varsity Media Sports Network. So just about set for the opening tip, as it's the Lions of Bishop Loughlin looking to end a 6-game losing streak against the Cardinal Hayes team, trying to win their 3rd straight for the first time this season. Opening tip goes to the Cardinals, and quickly the pressure is on by that backcourt duo of Sanders and Jeffrey, and they create the turnover. So 5 seconds in, it's Loughlin with the ball, and we expect some pressure. Maybe not here in the half court, but we'll see it, I think, full court a little bit more by Cardinal Hayes today. It'll be interesting to see how much Sanders has in his tank. 3-point shot put up by McPherson off the mark, and here comes Fields the other way. Hands off to Elijah Moore. The Syracuse commit dishes. corner three. It's a deep two instead. That's off the mark. Ball bounces back out to Moore. And then the reach around foul called on Jeffrey. Understandably, Jeffrey coming off of that long layoff was a bit winded, right? Still has to get his basketball legs under him after only playing 4 games this regular season, missing nearly 2 months of action. Dribble penetration and kick out. Here's Moore. That was Lewis who had the pass. Ian Jackson from 3. 3-0 early lead. And then, as we said before, here's a little bit of that pressure that we expected to see. De La Rosa quickly doubled. Pass, open 3 by Sanders is good. So Jakai with the response to Jackson's 3, and we are knotted at 3. Here comes Jeffrey off of that miss by the Cardinals. Kicks it out. And Sanders is called for the traveling violation by Kevin Agee, the official. Trey Lewis, one of many talented freshmen here at Cardinal Hayes. Jaden Williams. There's only 2 seniors. Williams is one of them. Fields on the ball is the other. Excuse me, that was Lewis. Hard to the hole. Jeffrey doesn't finish inside De La Rosa. He is hit, and he'll go to the line.
Foul committed by Tylee Fields. That's his first.
Foul on Fields. And this sends De La Rosa to the line to shoot 2. In and out. For Wilmer's first. Outstanding fundamentals for the freshman. He's vocal when he calls out the rotations on D, has that natural feel for the game. Yeah, he'll still make some of those freshman mistakes as he misses both of those free throws, but extremely rare for Bishop Loughlin to have a freshman on the varsity, so he's the guy to look out for. We're going to see a lot of zone, I think, today from Loughlin. We see it right there. It's a 2-3 zone. The 3 missed by Jackson. There's Steven Solano with the putback. Solano has made strides. Struggling at the start of the year, is playing a lot better right now, and he's got Cardinal Hayes in front 5-3. Backdoor cut. Sanders inside at the trees. Misses. Second chance opportunity is good. So Sanders with all 5 of Bishop Loughlin's points. Loughlin showed a lot of zone against Zavarian the other night, and there's a miscommunication between Njai and Jackson, and it's another turnover for Cardinal Hayes. Joe Lodes, their head coach, said, look, when we turn the ball over 10 times or less, we are a tough team to beat. Already 3 minutes in, they've got at least 2 turnovers, so they've got to cut that number down. Sanders, side rim and out on that 3-point attempt. So it will be Cardinal Hayes ball. Here's Adam Njai, the junior. And again, they are looking to try to utilize more of the shot clock, Cardinal Hayes is. Njai drives and kicks. 3-point attempt. Side rim, no good. And the rebound goes to Sanders. Here comes Loughlin. Sanders doubled. Oh, he finds De La Rosa. Can't get the reverse. And De La Rosa went to the ground. Was lying out of bounds when the ball hit him, so it'll be Cardinal Hayes ball. Elijah Moore, just yesterday, committing to Syracuse University. Here's Ian Jackson, wants to pick from Solano, gets it. Splits defenders. Jackson off glass, too high, no good. The rebound bounces out of bounds, and it will be Bishop Loughlin ball.
Off the miss, it'll be Lions basketball.
De La Rosa to inbound. And he gets it to Sanders. St. John's, Fordham interested. He's got that offer from Bryant. And still just a junior. We expect those offers and interest to increase for him. Here's De La Rosa. Has a great future as well. Goes inside. Up and under, nothing there. Three-point shot, rims in and out. Here's Njai as Cardinal Hayes will look to push in transition. Out of control, though, is Njai, and he loses it. Sanders on a 2-on-0 will get the layup. All 7 for Sanders. Chop more for 3. That's what he does best, and he does it better than many in the country. 8-7 the lead for Cardinal Hayes. Sanders to De La Rosa. Gets doubled. Hands off. Elbow jumper. Gets the friendly roll from Micaiah Moore. And the lead goes to the boys from Brooklyn, 9-8. Bishop Loughlin. As we approach 3 minutes left in this first quarter. Njai sets the screen. A little pick and pop. Njai fakes 3. Moore dials up from long distance. No good. De La Rosa the rebound. Blew a tire. And now Loughlin will look to go. Here's Jeffrey. Hands off. Open 3 in the corner. Christian Jeffrey buries it. His first bucket of the game, the first bucket by anyone not called, Ja'Kai Sanders, and a 30-second timeout is called by Cardinal Hayes. 12-8 is the lead early on for Bishop Loughlin. It was a lot of Ja'Kai Sanders, and then Christian Jeffrey entered the party as well with that trifecta. We mentioned the busy week here in the Varsity Media Sports Network. We go from the hardwood to the hard, cold ice out at Clark Gillies Arena in Dix Hills for a CHSHL showdown between the visiting Monsignor Farrell Lions and the Friars of St. Anthony's. Opening face-off, I think that's 5:40, I think it is, right, tomorrow night out in Dix Hills, somewhere around that time. St. Anthony's pushing for number 1 in that Class A division. Some substitutions, most notably, it's Magic Mel. There he is, the freshman. What a look! And Solano, the finish. Jamel Thomas with the assist. He is so much fun to watch, that freshman point guard, a true point guard at that. Tough jumper by Jeffrey, rims out, the look inside, and the putback by Moore. 4-point lead for Bishop Loughlin. Magic Mel hands off to Captain Jack. Yeah, we all have nicknames here on this Cardinal Hayes team. Magic Mel, front rim no good, gets his own rebound, kicks it out to Captain Jack for 3. His second trifecta of this first quarter, and it's a 1-point deficit for the Cardinals. Down low, battling away, Solano the rejection, but the ball will stay with Bishop Loughlin. $1:28 left first quarter. A fun one at that as well. It's a 1-point lead for the visitors. Here's Moore. Jeffrey. You think this dude hits the weight room? He is jacked. Hands it off to McPherson. 5 on the shot. McPherson to Jeffrey. They got to get something off glass and in for Moore. He's got 6 tidy points And it's a 3-point lead for Bishop Loughlin inside the final minute of this fast-moving first quarter. Magic Mel dribbles, turns it back outside. Turnover, though. Ja'Kai Sanders! 9 first quarter points for Ja'Kai Sanders. 18-13 the lead for Bishop Loughlin. Elijah Moore from 3, and the foul! He nearly came over for an interview as well. So the possibility here of a 4-point play. Foul was on De La Rosa. And Chapa will try to complete the 4-point play. He does. 7 first quarter points for the Syracuse commit. It's a 1-point ball game. 25 seconds left. Shot clock is off. So Bishop Loughlin can hold for the final shot. Sanders dribbling on Jackson. Swings it. Here's Moore. 12 on the game clock. In the corner. That's a 3-point attempt, and that's good by Bryce McPherson. 21-17, Magic Mel from half court. He's short. De La Rosa the rebound as the buzzer sounds. A very good first quarter, especially for the visitors from Fort Greene. Bishop Loughlin leads Cardinal Hayes 21-17. You're watching the CHSAA Basketball Showdown on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
Varsity Media covers every sport at every level from every angle. Game film, recruiting videos, highlight videos, SPORTSCAST,
Thunder, and what a look!
photography, live streaming. You name it, we offer it. Don't leave your video needs to amateurs. Trust the pros. Contact us at 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net.
Welcome back to Cardinal Hayes here on the Grand Concourse in the Bronx. Sunday afternoon showdown. And it is Bishop Loughlin with a 21-17 lead after the opening 8 minutes. It was a very good opening quarter, especially for Ja'Kai Sanders. 9 of his team's 21 points. A lot of threes put up, attempted, and made for both of these teams. Here is Jeffrey, guarded there by Williams. Hands off to Sanders. Low post, here comes Moore. He's got 6 already. Sanders drives hard to the hole, no good. Ed Gonzalez wanted some contact and a foul call, doesn't get it though. High off glass and in for Chapa Moore. 9 for Moore. And the lead is just 2. Again, it's been 6 straight games without a win for Bishop Loughlin, but there's a sense of optimism because this guy is back. Christian Jeffrey, hands inside, and there is a foul called down low on Solano. It's his first, the team's second. Both teams have 2 team fouls. Rotation a little bit now for Hayes as Solano and I think it was Njai check out. Inside is Moore. 2 more. 4 more. He's got 8. No relation. It's Chapa Moore. Another 3. Rims out, no good. Rebound goes to Miles Balbosa. Fresh into the game. His 3 rims out. Moore, the rebound, can't bring it back down. Here comes Jackson in transition. Tries to get away from the traffic like he's driving on the Grand Concourse. Across the way, 3-point shot attempt, no good. That was Fields with the 3. And here is Sanders. Some contact down low, no foul is called. And now Njai looks to go the other way. Quickly to Chapa. Magic Mel has an incredible feel for the game. Not just the high basketball IQ. Look at the move. Oh! But then the rejection as well. Magic Mel broke some ankles. But then Micaiah Moore said, not today. And that gets the crowd energized here in the Bronx. He put his guy on skates, but then Moore came with the rejection. Look at this! Magic Mel! That in itself was magical. And now a press and a steal by Jackson. Chapa Moore for three. No good. Same team, Jeffrey the rebounds. So somehow, Thomas, the freshman, convinced Loughlin he was wearing the gray. Just got the inbound and laid it in, but Bishop Loughlin still with the lead. Jeffrey uses the strength, goes up and under, but he is called for the charge. And that is his second foul. So Jeffrey's got to be careful here. 5:23 left in the first half. And here's Jackson, works off the screen, dribbles hard, turns inside. Ian Jackson, no good. Rebound put up, no good. Second chance, again another rejection. And here comes Loughlin the other way. McPherson. Jackson the other way. We are seeing some showtime. We're not at the Apollo, but here on the Grand Concourse, man. Showtime for both of these teams. 2-point game, 25-23. Ja'Kai Sanders. Open, three, rims around, no good. Njai the rebounds. Magic Mel. Jump ball is called. Possession stays with the Cardinals. And they'll inbound underneath. It'll be Njai to do so. And we want some cooler heads. Substitution for Cardinal Hayes. Magic Mel will come out of the game, gets a pound and some smiles from Joe Loads. Back in is Jaden Williams. Njai goes deep. And Moore, hey, he can shoot from there as well. Jaden Williams drives baseline. Strong move. Jaden Williams showing strength inside, and we are tied at 25, midway point of this second quarter. We're so thankful you're joining us here on the Varsity Media Sports Network. Nearly a travel, pass down low, and then a foul was called. It'll go against Njai. It'll be his first and the team's third. And again, a quick stoppage as the officials just want to make sure. Now Kevin Agee will just again reaffirm the initial decision. Listen, we need a little space down here, guys. We know that it's valuable real estate. And then a foul would be called. So the foul called on Fields. It'll be his second and the team's fourth. Well, the warnings were certainly there, that is for sure. As it's now Sanders looking for some room. Lefty layup, no good. And Moore, put back, fouled on his way up. So he will go to the foul line. Foul was again on Fields, so now it's 3 on Tyleik Fields. 5th team foul. And Moore will shoot 2. Moore has interest from LIU, misses the first free throw from Barbados. Micaiah Moore. Not that conventional big, but he takes advantage of those mismatches in the post. He's put a lot of work in from 15, 20 feet as well. Misses the second free throw. Bishop Loughlin's had the lead for much of this first half. Cardinal Hayes on this possession can take it back. Moore to Njai, gets it back from Williams. Some quick ball movement. Elijah Moore. Williams flashes to the foul line. 3-point attempt is no good by Ian Jackson, but he is fouled on his way up. Foul called on McPherson. His first and the team's 4th, so Ian Jackson will go to the line to shoot 3. First free throw, no good for Jackson, who, oh, look at this. A technical foul called on the Bishop Loughlin bench. So there'll be a host of free throws. Still 2 more to shoot for this man, Ian Jackson, who has committed to North Carolina. Ed Gonzalez looking for an explanation on that technical foul, but he committed January 16th, did Ian Jackson. His other offers, they were plentiful. Kentucky, LSU, Oregon, Kansas. Second free throw is good. We're not done, by the way, with his schools that offered. Jackson turns around like, I'm going to stay here? All right, 2 more. It now has a feel like it is a practice for Cardinal Hayes free throw shooting. 1 more for Captain Jack. So he goes 4 of 5 from the line. And it should be Hayes' ball as well. So how about this? It was Loughlin leading. And now, after the 3 free throws and then the 2 technical free throws, 4 of which were made, that's the lead right now for Cardinal Hayes. Jackson says, why not? I'm heating up a little bit. Missed the 3. And the rebound went to De La Rosa. In trouble. There's Jeffrey, the bailout. Pass down low, deflected around. Moore again off glass. Man, he is economical. 10 points for Moore. And really, I think all 10 were from like 5 feet and in. Solano, the rebound off that 3-point miss by Njai. Njai now drives hard to the hole and gets the bucket. To the hard way for Adam Njai. 31-27 the lead for Cardinal Hayes. Sanders. That one I thought deflected on its way through, but instead it is a turnover and it will go to Cardinal Hayes. Njai. Njai returned to the Bronx. Transfer from Hillcrest Prep in Arizona. Oh, look out, and Jeffrey nearly crashing into the table. Listen, he's a big dude. So we are fortunate he was able to pump the brakes. Elijah Moore. Hey, at Varsity Media, we want to bring you so close to the action that we nearly get our table tipped over by Christian Jeffrey. That's our commitment to you. 5 in the shot clock. Jackson, the crossover. Long on the attempt. Shot clock should not have reset. And it is a shot clock violation. That 3 attempt by Jackson was long, never touched the rim. As here comes Loughlin. Christian Jeffrey. Hands off to Sanders. Sanders turns it over. Jackson flashes out. Great job by Jeffrey recognizing that. Hands off to Moore. Loughlin needs a bucket here. They are struggling a little bit offensively. And a foul called on the court is on Williams. It'll be his first, the team's 6th. And the inbound will be for Loughlin underneath. $1:20 left here in the first half. 31-27 the lead. Moore hands off to De La Rosa. Swings it again. Extra pass. 3-point attempt in the corner. In and out. Jackson, the rebound. However, Jeffrey steals. Goes to his left. And the foul. So Jeffrey to try to complete the 3-point play. Big basket there by Christian Jeffrey. Free throw, no good. Free throw shooting has been problematic for the visitors from Brooklyn. Moore's 3, no good. They have yet to make a free throw in this game. Less than a minute left, first half. Jeffrey tries to muscle his way through the double team. Jackson with the steal. And now here comes Elijah Choppa Moore. Sanders wants to do the same the other way, had ill intentions. Stripped, though, by Jackson on the way there. Loughlin, first half, 0 for 5 from the line. It's a 33-29 lead for Cardinal Hayes. You do the math. Made free throws, and you've got a lead. Missed 3. De La Rosa, put back, no good. And Williams tracks down the rebound. Shot clock is off, so Cardinal Hayes, they can hold for the final shot. And Joe Lodes wants to talk it over just to make sure they set up that maybe perfect play that they'd like to close out this first half. So 0 for 5 for Loughlin. Let's take a look at the upcoming schedule for Cardinal Hayes. And after just a brutal non-league schedule, playing so many top 10, top 20 teams, a little bit, you can see the light at the end of that tunnel here. They go to Holy Cross. They're home for Lawrence Woodmere next Sunday. And then a stretch of home games. That includes Mount St. Michael, St. Raymond's, and just past these next 4 games, St. Francis Prep, the Mount St. Michael game, the St. Raymond's game, and the St. Francis Prep game, all right here on the Varsity Media Sports Network. And also when you add those games up, Joe Lodes 296 career wins. He could, and I emphasize could, get his 300th on the Varsity Media Sports Network against Mount St. Michael if Cardinal Hayes wins these next 3 games. So final 12 seconds, Moore getting locked off. So it's Njai doing the dribbling. Hands off, 3-point shot, rims out, no good. De La Rosa the rebound, 2 seconds from midcourt. Sanders high off glass, no good. And that will do it for the first half. 33-29 the lead for Cardinal Hayes. The Cardinals with the lead. We'll take a break. We will endeavor to get Joe Lodes at some point. I don't think I said to him when I mentioned him before, when I saw him before the game, to come over if you have the lead. But he should have that memo already, right? That's all right. We still have love for Joe Lodes. 33-29 the lead for Cardinal Hayes here at halftime. You're watching the CHSAA Basketball Showdown on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
I said there are two things that you're going to be responsible for the rest of your life. And that's your physical health and your financial health.
Hi, I'm Gene Sterator, CBS Rules Analyst and longtime sports official. For the adults watching this video, you grew up in a world where officials, umpires, and referees for youth sports took their place regularly and reliably ahead of game time. Today, unfortunately, it's getting harder and harder to fill those jobs. Videos showing abusive treatment of officials multiply on social media. And there have been consequences for the dreadful behavior of players, fans, and coaches. Massive shortages of officials now lead to games being canceled, and the positive effects of athletic competition are at critical risk for this generation and those to come. I'm hoping we all can begin to see youth competition through a different lens. Today, mistreatment of officials has become normalized, and we are facing an abnormal future where no officials to hire means no games on the schedule.
Any call, any decision, any human effect on wins and losses has become subject to not just withering criticism, but physical threats. There's a vicious cycle at work. Fans chase away officials, and there is a smaller pool to draw from, which makes it harder to get quality, well-trained people in position. The entire game suffers.
Did you know, according to the National Federation of High Schools, 80% of new officials quit the game after just 2 seasons because of abusive behavior from the stands and sidelines? This sort of verbal abuse and threatening behavior takes a toll on all officials and makes them leave the game altogether.
Did you know, from 2018 to 2022, an estimated 50,000 high school referees, roughly 20%, have quit. Half of the remaining referee population is at least 50 years old, but young officials are rarely staying more than 3 years in the job.
If the number of officials working contests in all sports doesn't begin to increase, there won't be enough officials to work the games. That means schedules will get cut, teams or even sports might get canceled. In many states, this is already happening.
Remember that officials are invested in what they do. Many officials have regular, full-time jobs, and they're sacrificing time away from their families. Try to demonstrate empathy, put yourself in their position. Think how you would feel about getting yelled at throughout your workday.
Yelling and arguing with officials sends the wrong message to young players. According to Play by the Rules Sports Advocacy, it teaches them that it's not okay to make a mistake. They can blame others for their actions. They can disrespect authority figures, and it's okay to be rude and selfish.
You know, officials enforce rules, keep competitions fair, and make player safety a priority, allowing youth sports to be a valuable arena for growth. If we can all just work together and be more empathetic to not just the officials, but everyone else in youth and high school sports, we can then preserve what many of us have embraced about athletics. And you and I know the benefits of sports, right? Let's spread that gratitude and be proud of what we can build and not blind to how it's being torn down. Calling officials cheaters or corrupt, it's not a game.
Insulting referees, It's not a game.
Threatening officials, it's not a game.
Berating young umpires, learning the ropes, it's not a game.
Violent language in the stands, it's not a game.
Verbal abuse from the sideline, it's not a game.
Screaming at a referee in the parking lot, it's not a game.
So what happens now? Your response in the heat of the moment is the only thing you totally control, and we have an experiment for you to try. Simply stated, just cheer for your child or the team you're there to support. Move that desire to lash out to a different place and encourage without rage. Your child's sporting memory should be about how you helped inspire and not about how you caused embarrassment.
If you're an event organizer looking for a media company to cover live streaming, action photography, and game video for your event, look no further. Varsity Media travels throughout the Northeast covering weekend tournaments, showcases, and championships. Contact us today to learn about our services and packages at 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net.
I said there are two things that you're going to be responsible for the rest of your life. And that's your physical health and your financial health.
We welcome you back to Cardinal Hayes here. It's halftime on the Grand Concourse. It's the Cardinals with a 33-29 lead at halftime, and we welcome in Associate Head Coach Tim Philp with us here at halftime. And Tim, doubling up Loughlin in that second quarter, only giving up those 8 points. What did you like maybe from your team, especially in that second quarter after trailing 21-17 after one?
The defense was a little bit better, but our problem right now is rebounding. So they're beating us up, as does most teams on the glass. We have to rebound the basketball better.
I know one thing that Joe mentioned kind of coming into this game is going deeper on the shot clock when that opportunity arises. Did you see enough of that, or you need to see more of that in the second half?
Absolutely not. We have to be much more patient on the offensive end. Share the ball. We have some guys open that we're not making not only the pass quick enough, but sometimes we're passing to the guy's feet rather than up here, so they can catch and release quicker. But yeah, we got to be a little more patient.
And maybe in addition to that, what do you want to see here from your team in the second half?
We got to rebound the ball better on the defensive end.
Rebounding was 1 and 2 on the pregame keys for Joe Lodes, and that continues with Associate Head Coach Tim Philp. Tim, thanks for joining us here at halftime. Good luck second half.
Thank you.
So that's Tim Philp, the Associate Head Coach, filling in for Joe Lodes, who we've got the injury report, has an upper body injury, if you want to call it that. A little bit of a headache there for Joe Lodes, so he'll take a break from us, at least. He'll continue to coach his team, though. Let's take a look at the leading scorers for both teams, and it starts with the top two we mentioned before, right? Here's two of our players to watch, Ian Jackson, Elijah Moore. 12 points for Jackson, 11 for Moore. And Micaiah Moore, no relation to Elijah Moore, with 10. And how many of those 10 points were those putbacks down low? And that's exactly what Tim Philp was saying. Not boxing out, not rebounding, allowing a guy like Micaiah Moore to score 10 points on the low blocks is something that Cardinal Hayes is going to have to fix and change. Another big difference, I think, in this game has been free throw shooting. Bishop Loughlin 0 for 5 in the first half. And doing quick math on my part, looks like 5 of 6 for Cardinal Hayes. And listen, in a game that is separated by 4 points, those points do loom large. Big one here for both of these teams. Again, Bishop Loughlin coming in, having lost 6 in a row, 7 of their last 8. They've got a difficult stretch ahead for them as well. You see the Brooklyn Queens standings. Christ the King leading the way. 10-1, a game back St. Francis Prep. Those two teams will play Tuesday night in Fresh Meadows, a game we'll have for you on the Varsity Media Sports Network, one of a number of games sponsored by the Maspeth Federal Savings Bank. We thank them, of course, for their sponsorship of so many of these great Varsity Media broadcasts. So inbounding is Bishop Loughlin to get this second half started. Christian Jeffrey, only his second game in like 2 months, played Friday night. His first game back, there's Ja'Kai Sanders. I'm not sure he called bank, but he gets the 2 off the glass. It's a 2-point game. Here's Magic Mel up top. Swings it to Njai. Flashing to the foul line was Jackson. He now backs up. Njai swings it to Magic Mel. Tries to tuck it under, and he's fouled on his way.
Foul committed by Ja'Kai Sanders. That's his second.
Foul on Sanders. His second, of course, the first of this second half. Njai inbounds. A deep 2, no good. There's an offensive rebound. Njai grabs it. So right from what associate head coach Tim Phillips said that he needs to see, got it there. High off glass, no good. Jackson skied in for the rebound, wasn't able to get it. Elijah Moore cuts across the paint for 2. He's now got 13. 4-point lead for Cardinal Hayes. There is Sanders. Guarded by Njai. Sanders looks to drive baseline. Njai reaches in, and he's called for the foul.
Reaching foul committed by Adam Njai.
That's Njai's second. Inbound underneath for Jeffrey. Jeffrey had 18 points first game back. That loss Friday night against Zavarian. Inside, Moore can't get it to fall. And another rebound for Njai. So 2 quick rebounds on both sides of the ball for Njai. Magic Mel. Tried to get it to Williams. Unable to make that connection, but you could see why Jermel Thomas is so highly sought after and will continue to be sought after. Fordham has already got an offer on the freshman. 3-point shot, short. Choppa Moore, the rebound, skying high for that ball was Jackson. Spins, turns, now looks to drive. Jeffrey, though, strips him. Ahead for Sanders. Sanders! Oh, and he looks Jackson's way as well. So Sanders, the flush, and then the stare down for Captain Jack. Now here's Jackson losing the handle, but the officials say it went off of De La Rosa. Ed Gonzalez, the Bishop Loughlin coach, with a quizzical look on his face. Jackson inbounds it to Elijah Moore. Jackson looks to drive baseline. Extra pass, open 3, Njai. Njai, a very positive start to this third quarter. A couple of rebounds, a 3-point shot as well, and the lead is 5 for Cardinal Hayes. Here's Sanders splitting the defenders, and Jeffrey is called for steps. Njai early on in this season, maybe it's a new environment or looking to get out and run and maybe do too much sometimes, but he's really played within himself. Look at Williams. The hoop and the harm. So De La Rosa called for the foul. His second, team's second, and Jaden Williams, the program guy, the senior bound for Caldwell College, completes the three-point play. I think Jaden Williams will do really, really well at that level. Blocking foul called on Williams, the 6'4" senior. Associate head coach Tim Philp saying to referee Kevin Agee he did not move. And Sanders will shoot 2, as he did in that first quarter, carrying the offense right now for the Lions. That, the first made free throw for Loughlin in this game. 14 now for Ja'Kai Sanders. One of those guys, he's in the gym. He misses the second. 6 a.m., gets his shots up. And that gym at Bishop Loughlin, if you've not been there, you get your conditioning in by just getting to it. You got to get up 4 flights of stairs. Foul called on Jeffrey. And that's his third.
Third team foul.
So Loughlin, Jeffrey will sit out with his third foul, and Aiden Torres, the senior, number 35, checks in. Jackson contemplated the deep three. That three rims out. Now Loughlin looks to push. Sanders steps back, swings it cross court. Fresh into the game is Torres. He puts up a three, no good. And here comes Choppa Moore. Get to the chopper! That was across the Grand Concourse. And then a foul is called on Thomas.
Foul committed by Terrell Thomas. That's his first. Third team foul in the second half. Checking in.
The third made three by Choppa Moore in this game. 16 for the freshly minted Syracuse commit. Sanders struggling with the handle, hands off McPherson, the extra pass. 3-point attempt in the corner, no good. Getting the putback, and he'll get it the old-fashioned way. At least he hopes. It's De La Rosa. So Williams, his third foul. And now De La Rosa. He's missed his only 2 free throw attempts. That came in the first quarter, looking to get himself in the scorebook this afternoon for Bishop Loughlin. And the struggles from the line continue for the Lions. They pick it up 1-2-2 right now. Njai drives, cuts it out. 3-point attempt is good. Magic Mel for 3. Largest lead of the game for Cardinal Hayes. It's 11. Sanders, back rim, no good. Rebound attempt, another opportunity. That rejected, and then a foul is called. So Torres called for his first, 4th team foul. And certainly the message has been received by the Cardinals because they are definitely battling on the glass. Here's Williams, and he'll be called for the offensive foul. That is Williams' 4th. So he'll come to the bench, replaced by Jackson. So between current commits and prospects, you probably have 5 Division I players on the court right now for Cardinal Hayes. And maybe 3 or 4 for Loughlin, including Sanders. Hands off, McPherson for 3, no good. Solano rips it down. Here comes Thomas. Again, Fordham quickly, the first one in. On the cat they call Magic Mel. Here's Njai. Pulls up. Njai. He's had an excellent third quarter. 49-36. Sanders, no good. Solano. Magic Mel, bounce pass. Njai, the finish. Timeout. Bishop Loughlin. 51-36 the lead. It starts with the rebound by Solano. Gets it ahead. Look at the pass by Magic Mel. Perfect on the money. And Njai the finish as Cardinal Hayes has opened up a 51-36 lead with 2:07 left in this third quarter. We showed you before Cardinal Hayes' upcoming schedule. How about we take a look at what Loughlin has in front of them, and a difficult stretch, man. A lot of Hayes home games. Well, Loughlin's getting on that bus. They're going to go up to New Rochelle on Tuesday to take on Iona Prep, and then the rivalry game into Middle Village, a game that we'll have for you on the Varsity Media Sports Network a week from today. 3:30 tip in that one at Christ the King. Then they are home for Molloy, and then looking to avenge that loss to Zavarian, their Brooklyn rival, that on the 10th. And remarkably, the regular season then ends the following Tuesday. So 5 games left in the regular season for Bishop Loughlin, but their head coach, Ed Gonzalez, says, look, it is 24 scrimmages until the real season begins. That is the postseason, and a year ago, Bishop Loughlin made their way to the semifinals, losing to Stepinac. So can they make it back to the Final Four? We will see. Sanders stripped, and it will be Cardinal Hayes ball. Favorite right now, you'd have to say, is Archbishop Stepinac. A week ago, they went to Christ the King and beat the Royals, and they were shorthanded at that as well, not having Danny Carbucia, Ben Little's first game back. Boogie Fland had himself a game in that one. Njai hands off to Jackson. Jackson drives to the hole for 2. And they just announced it to the crowd. Ian Jackson on that layup, his 1,000th point for the Cardinals. Jeffrey, the response the other way. 3-pointer, rims around, no good. Sanders tracks down the rebound, goes ahead to McPherson. High off glass, no good. But more, the finish and the flush. Solano spins, and he is called for the foul. So congratulations to Captain Jack, getting the congratulations from his teammates now as well. His 1,000th career point, and he did not need a lot of time to get that number, did he? 53-40 left, and he still has another year as well to tack on to those numbers. Oh, what a strong move by a strong dude, Christian Jeffrey, to the basket. An 11-point lead. Here is Jackson now, guarded by Sanders. To Choppa Moore. They'll play catch. Both of those guys this month committing to ACC schools. Foul on Sanders. Now it's his third. So you've got Sanders and Jeffrey with 3 fouls apiece for a Bishop Loughlin team that isn't particularly deep. So Hayes can pretty much wind this right down, as there's barely any difference between shot and game clock. Here is Dramel Thomas. Peeks behind his back, but he's guarded closely by Jeffrey. Oh, He probably could have kept going to the hole. Goes back to Njai, though, now with 9 and 8. Njai looks to dribble. Njai, oh, pretty finger roll, Adam Njai. Maybe the best 8 minutes that we've seen Adam Njai have in a Cardinal Hayes uniform. A terrific third quarter by Adam Njai, and he has made sure, look at this is just a thing of beauty. Njai gets past Jeffrey, and then the finger roll. Nice, pretty scoop layup by Adam Njai, and he's got Cardinal Hayes leading 55-42 after 3 quarters. You're watching the CHSAA Basketball Showdown on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
Varsity Media covers every sport at every level from every angle. Game film, recruiting videos, highlight videos, SPORTSCAST,
Under, and what a look.
photography, live streaming. You name it, we offer it. Don't leave your video needs to amateurs. Trust the pros. Contact us at 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net.
We welcome you back to Cardinal Hayes. Dylan Butler here with you on the Varsity Media Sports Network. 8 minutes left in regulation time as Cardinal Hayes looking for their first 3-game winning streak of the season. They lead Bishop Loughlin 55-42. Leading the way for Cardinal Hayes, Elijah Moore with 16, Ian Jackson with 14, Njai with 11, including 9 in that third quarter. A third quarter which saw Cardinal Hayes outscore Bishop Loughlin 22-11. That after a 16-8 second quarter. After one, it was Loughlin leading it 21-17. And since, Cardinal Hayes has had the response. Chapa Moore. Oh, tough jumper. 18 now for Chapa, who yesterday committed to Syracuse. Low post. Nearly losing it was Moore. Oh, going back door, a pretty cut, and a layup by De La Rosa. Lewis out to Magic Mel. Mel missed a lot of the first part of the season with a hip injury. 3 no good. Nice pass by Moore. Corner 3 by Jackson is no good. And here comes Sanders the other way. He's been the leader with 14 for the Lions. And a hand check will be called on Moore. It's his first, team's 7th. So a single bonus now for a Loughlin team that has had significant struggles from the foul line. In fact, I guess if you go glass half full, Sanders is the one who has the made free throw. Make it 2.
Checking in for the Cardinals, Jaden Williams.
For a team, the Lions now 2 for 10 from the foul line. Make it 2 for 11. The points all count the same, but it just feels like free throws are more important. And I guess it, truth in advertising, that free throws are not free. Sanders. 2 more for him. He's got a team high 17. Oh, Njai. timeout called by Cardinal Hayes, but Njai is feeling it. Watch this off the inbound. Njai stops on a dime right there. Creates the separation and the elbow jumper. A sweet one at that. 12-point lead for Cardinal Hayes. Both of these coaches among the winningest current CHSA coaches. This is a fun list to look at. A couple of guys who have been there for 30-plus years for Frere and McGrain, as well as Freddie Opper at Cardinal Spellman. But look at the next two. The race to 300 is exciting here between Joe Loades and Joe Arbitello. They've both been head coaches for 15 seasons. Loades with 2 more wins than Arbitello right now. And what's interesting, too, is, again, if you kind of project at the way the season goes, we here in the Varsity Media Sports Network could actually broadcast both of their 300th wins, where Loades could get it against Mount St. Michael, or if not, maybe against rival St. Raymond's. Won't that be fun on a Friday night here on the Grand Concourse? And then Arbitello, they've got 6 regular season games left. So if they run the table, he could get it in their final regular season game at home against Scanlon. But what a list that is as well. It's so fun. Just speaks as well about the tradition and the history of this Catholic high school league. Short was that jumper, and here comes Sanders the other way. Jackson slinged it to Elijah Moore. And Moore backs up. You've got to play him wherever he is on the court. Elijah Moore. To Mel. 6 on the shot. Mel splits defenders, tucks it under. Corner 3, Njai, side rim, no good. Now that was, the strip by Mel, and the flex as well. But Moore down the court, nobody there the other way. How about the moxie there by Magic Mel? Look at this. The strip, the layup, watch the flex. Magic Mel. You love it. Again, hip injury sidelines him for the early portion. Came back early January. But Magic Mel, a guy who's got all the God-given ability. Tremendous feel for the game. He knows when to go, when to stop. He finds his angles. He makes the right passes. He plays under control. Has that super IQ. Joe Loades saying Ty Jerome smart. Remember, of course, the great Iona Prep standout. But a terrific skill set. And listen, when they call you Magic Mel and you're just a freshman, that tells you something about his ability, his potential as well. And he just seems to have fun, man, out there. Here he is again, guarded by McPherson. Mel crossing over. The scoop and the arm! He did not! Magic indeed. We got to show you that again when we get a chance. So McPherson called for the foul, his second and the team's 6th. And Magic Mel. If there was a bigger crowd, if this was a Friday night, you'd probably hear chants of he's a freshman. Look at this move. From the bag of tricks, the Magic Man, 64-49, the lead for Cardinal Hayes. Sanders tries to create separation. Jackson came in secondary. Now Jeffrey is fouled, and that will be the 5th and final foul on Jaden Williams. So Williams will sit with 5 fouls and 5 points as well. So Tylee Fields, the other senior for this Cardinal Hayes team, checks in. Jeffrey knocks down that first free throw. Double figure scoring now for Christian Jeffrey with 10. Make it 11. Njai. Extra pass from long distance. Mel does not get the bounce. We go the other way. McPherson to the lane. No good. And it will stay Loughlin ball. Ooh, and a technical foul called against Jermel Thomas. So clearly said something, and the freshman will go to the bench. 64-51. So 2 more free throws for Jeffrey. Rims around, no good. And another one, no good. And that largely speaks to the struggles that Loughlin has had today. Another missed free throw, 2 more missed free throws, in fact. Four of 14 today. Loughlin from the foul line. Jeffrey, a powerful putback. But there's a steep hill to climb here in the Bronx. An 11-point lead for Cardinal Hayes. Jackson backs it up, looks to drive on Jeffrey. He's got 3 fouls, Jeffrey, and Jackson navigates his way to the basket. 16 for Ian Jackson. A 13-point lead for Cardinal Hayes. Ja'Kai Sanders pumps the brakes, double team, looks for help. Finds Jeffrey, powers to the hole, and a blocking foul is called underneath. It'll be Trey Lewis's first foul. Team 10th. So Jeffrey back to the line. Front rim on that attempt. Second is good. And Jeffrey had the steal, but he couldn't hold on to the ball. .321 left, fourth quarter. Loughlin will pick up full court. Here comes Njai off an excellent third quarter. Splits a double team Njai. Nobody picks him up, and he'll go straight to the hole. 15 for Njai. Sanders. And another blocking foul is called underneath. This on Fields. It's his fourth. And a couple more free throws for Loughlin, but they have missed 10 in a game they trail by 14. So Sanders to shoot 2. And his first is good. Sanders, that 3-level scorer who does a great job getting to his spots. Strong attacker, has that mid-range game. That's become a big emphasis of his this season. He finishes through contact. He gets himself to the line as well. He's active defensively, causing turnovers. And maybe best of all for Bishop Loughlin is he's a junior, so he should be back again next year. So 12-point lead. Ed Gonzalez trying to chip away, man. Trey Lewis gets it to Njai. Njai stolen, though, or nearly stolen. And yes, it will be Loughlin ball. Gonzalez wanting the foul on Njai for a push-off. Njai tapping his chest to his bench, saying, my bad. There's not been many mistakes made by Njai in the second half. And we'll have a conversation here among the officials. Again, the officials for today's game, Craig Sikorsky, Anthony Calise, and Kevin Agee. So after that officials timeout, it'll be Loughlin ball. Here is Jeffrey. Temperature feels like it's getting a little bit warm here in the gym. Emotions are high. Sanders can't get that one to fall. Here comes Njai, quickly the other way to Jackson. The pass to Njai off his hands, and it will be Loughlin ball. So Cardinal Hayes, an opportunity here to potentially close things out. But they keep opening that window, just a crack for Loughlin to get back into this one. Here comes Jeffrey on the ball. Jeffrey drives baseline, rejected there by Jackson, but wide open underneath was Moore. 16 for Moore, and it's a 10-point game. Thomas back in the game. And Thomas tells Trey Lewis, back it up. Smart play by the freshman point guard. Use this shot clock as best you can with a 10-point lead. Here's Jackson. Jackson avoids the 5-second count. Drives, kicks it. Moore, the dagger. It is. Deep three by Choppa Moore. 21 now for Choppa Moore, and that feels like the dagger in the corner. It was a 10-point lead. Loughlin was finding the way back into this game, and then Choppa knocks it down from the corner. A big three for Choppa Moore, and he extends the lead to 71-58. 1:52 left in this fourth and final quarter, and we go from the hardwood to the ice tomorrow at Clark Gillies Arena in Dix Hills. It's a CHSHL showdown between Monsignor Farrell, the Lions of Farrell, against St. Anthony's. The Friars are on a roll. They beat Iona Prep last night 5-1. Should be a fun game on the ice. We'll be on the air for that one tomorrow from Dix Hills. And then we go back to the hardwood on Tuesday night into Queens, a big one in Brooklyn Queens standings. Christ the King going to St. Francis Prep. .520, by the way, that opening face-off. puck drop. Torres doesn't get the 3 to drop. And now it's Jackson. And again, you felt like that was a dagger 3 by Moore. Jackson lost it on the way up, but he was fouled. So he'll look to shoot free throws. Jeffrey's 4th foul. And the team's 7th. So Jackson, the single bonus. Again, up at the hoop hall, missed the front end. Jackson up in Springfield, Massachusetts, on the ESPN family of networks, committed to North Carolina. There's a foul underneath. It was on Moore. So Elijah Moore will go to the line to shoot 1 and 1. Moore had made his only free throw, and that was part of a rare 4-point play. Buried the 3 and made the free throw as well, and Chapa does it again. Moore, again, just yesterday committing to Syracuse. Had other offers from Illinois, Arkansas, Bryant, Mississippi State, Oklahoma State, St. John's, Xavier, Notre Dame, VCU, St. Joe's, and UConn, but opting to go up to play for Jim Boeheim at the Dome. He will call the Dome home. Foul on Jackson. His 2nd, and this will send Torres to the line to shoot 2. Torres continues Loughlin's struggles from the foul line as Zabel checks in for Hayes. Missed both. Jeffrey goes for the rebound. We'll have a jump ball. Possession will stay with Loughlin. Moore misses. Jeffrey, the putback, can't get that to fall. Fresh into the game there is Taisir Rahman. Taisir for 3. No good. Jeffrey the rebound, less than a minute left, and he is hit from behind, and he will go to the line. So Jeffrey the hoop and the harm, and he will complete the 3-point play. Njai gets 2 more. Steal from behind, and we are just about there. Cardinal Hayes. Njai backs it up. Good move by Njai. He'll be guarded closely, though. Njai to Jackson. Zabel, the student section wants them to shoot. The coaches do not, that is for sure. Njai back out to Zabel. Zabel, as the shot clock was winding down. Jackson, the putback. 2 more for Jackson. That 3, no good. And the final score, 76-61. Cardinal Hayes with the win. We'll take a quick break, and we'll have our player of the game interview when we return right here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
For the best action shots and the best angles, look no further than Varsity Media. Our experienced photographers capture your athletes' best moments right from field level. Plus, we offer great keepsakes like bobbleheads, posters, plaques, and prints. For more information about Varsity Media's photography services, contact us at 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net.
Varsity Media covers every sport at every level from every angle. Game film, recruiting videos, highlight videos, SPORTSCAST,
Under, and what a look!
photography, live streaming. You name it, we offer it. Don't leave your video needs to amateurs. Trust the pros. Contact us at 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports. You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
For the best action shots and the best angles, look no further than Varsity Media. Our experienced photographers capture your athletes' best moments right from field level. Plus, we offer great keepsakes like bobbleheads, posters, plaques, and prints. For more information about Varsity Media's photography services, contact us at 516-403-2050 or visit us online at varsitymedia.net.
Welcome back to Cardinal Hayes. The Cardinals with a 76-61 win, a third straight win for the Cardinals, and we are joined by our player of the game, the freshly minted Syracuse commit, Elijah Moore. And Chapa, first off on that, congratulations. Listen, you had no shortage of offers, a lot of tough decisions to make, but ultimately the decision to go to the Dome. What was the thought process there for you?
I mean, for me, I just wanted to go to a place where I can get better, I can grow, I can learn from the people I'm around. You know, Coach Jim Boeheim is a great coach, great person, and he talked to me on my visit. So, you know, it just felt like home when I got there. The coaches, the fans, everything felt great when I got there.
You and Ian have a great relationship now. You're going to be rivals in the ACC. Have you guys kind of talked about that a little bit?
Yeah, for sure. Before I even went to the game, when they had play against North Carolina, we was making jokes about and kind of bets about who would win. So now that I've committed and I'm officially, going there, it feels good.
I'd imagine too, the recruiting process can be stressful, certainly, and it's got to feel like a relief as well to kind of get that behind you and not have to worry about that as you continue your junior year.
For sure.
Big win too for you guys here today. Look, this was a tough matchup. You knew that they were full strength again. Jeffrey was back for them, joining Sanders. But a big day from you, from your teammates, 22 on the day. That last three that we just showed from the corner, that seemed like a dagger for them. They had cut it to 10.
Yeah, that hurt.
And a big response, huh?
Yeah, my coaches are telling me, just hold the ball out and take time off the clock. And then, he said if I touch it, let it fly. So, I told Adam screen, back screen. Ian drove, kicked it, made a great pass, I knocked it down, and that kind of hurt him.
Seemed like a lot of different contributors. Look, obviously, Ian got his 18. I thought Njai in that second half maybe had his best game for you guys. Third quarter really played under control, got some baskets. Magic Mel kind of showing what he is capable of in the future. When you guys kind of put it together like you did, especially in that second half, I mean, look, you guys are the defending champions. The championship run through the Grand Concourse, it's starting to feel like that a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. We started off slow in the season, trying to put the pieces together and try to figure everything out. But now, we're doing a great job of putting everything together and playing together as a team, so it's going well.
Elijah Moore, Chapa Moore, congratulations on the commitment as well as the big win here this afternoon.
Thank you.
That's Elijah Moore, and if you are sleeping a little bit on Cardinal Hayes, you do so at your own peril. The Cardinals now have won 3 consecutive games. They improve to 9-9. They are 500 on the season, 8-4 in the Archdiocese. Bishop Loughlin, they've dropped their 7th straight game. They fall to 5-14 and 2-10 in the Brooklyn Queens Diocesan. So that should do it here for us from the Bronx for our entire Varsity Media crew. Matt McCower-Brown bringing you all those great moving images. Of course, our assistant technical director, Ron Pierre, our technical director extraordinaire, Chris Sweeney, our executive producer, Ben Turch, and I'm Dylan Butler, thanking you for joining us here from the Bronx. We look forward to seeing you next time right here on the Varsity Media Sports Network.